So for those, if you were under a rock somewhere by any chance, maybe you was in a coma, maybe you was on vacation and you didn't have service. J. Cole came out, apologized for his diss track to K Dot, said he was going to take it down from all streaming platforms. Before you guys go, I'll just share my 2 cents on it. Listening to the explanation of why he did it, I don't got a problem with it. I understand where he's coming from in regards of, hey, this is not really me. This is not who I am. This is not my brand. This is not what I'm into. And with that part, I stand with J. Cole 1,000%. Be who you are supposed to be. Do not let people pressure you. If that's not who you are,
Mhm.
don't do it. As a fan, of course, I wanted to see this go back and forth. I wanted it. I wanted this to go back and forth, because these are two of the most lyrically top artists right now. The discussion of all time, we can have that another day. But right now, in our era, everybody that's on this screen, they're top. They're in that conversation, the top two, top three for what, last decade. I would have
Yeah.
loved to hear that, just to hear that, because they would have came with, it would have been art, just absolute art. But on the human side, Cole, I got no problem with you. Dreamville, you're
I feel the same way. I feel the same way, honestly. I just didn't like the misstep. In my opinion, just I, I don't. If I were him, I'm just not. I'm not dissing him in the first place. Is what I'm saying. I'm not going after Kendrick in the first place. Just don't do it. Don't move out of your body. Don't do stuff that you're not about. That's all I'm saying. And to hype everybody up for the possibly the one of the greatest rap beats of all time. That's what we're gonna get right there. Now we still gonna get a heavyweight bout. We're still getting a heavyweight. I'm okay. I'm gonna get my fix one way or the other because Drake's about to come back at him apparently tonight, or at least in the next couple hours. We're gonna hear Drake this. So I'm excited about that and to see those two guys go because they're still two heavyweights and that'll be fun to watch. But I didn't like the misstep. You started out. I like 7 Minute Drill. I thought it was cool. I thought it was melodic. I liked the hook. I liked the things he said. I thought it was really just like everyone says, a warning shot. And I thought we had potential here. That we're gonna go somewhere. I like J. Cole talking his, what, I liked it. I loved it. I wish he would have continued, but the
he
misstep,
got popcorn.
the misstep, the misstep to me is just I don't like it. I feel I wish don't pump fake like that on everybody. It's like when Carmelo caught the ball at the Garden and pump fake. And everybody thought he was gonna shoot it. It's just literally that what J. Cole did. But at the end of the day, I respect him as a human being, and he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I'll give him that. But unfortunately, the internet does not care about good guys. In fact, they don't like good guys. So you're gonna get a lot of trash, and people will view this as a stain on his legacy. I don't view it as such. I don't. I thought My Leader was an amazing project. I loved it, but no one cares about that. They'll talk about what moves the needle. That's fine.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but like at the same time, this all stems from the Kendrick verse on Like That. And I mean, I've listened to it plenty of times because it does slap.
It's
Um,
good. Yeah,
it's
it's
good. It's good. But um, I don't even think most of that verse where he was dissing was about J. Cole. So I think it was more
me.
pressure on J. Cole from the outside noise to respond and be like, oh, he's challenging you guys. Like, because the big three, you said it. But it wasn't really about him. He's more so coming at Drake on that. And yeah, that's why, Drake's going to probably respond somewhere soon. Um, but then once you put your hat in the ring, you can't just like do this. Like, I'm all for your mental health and like you being who you are. I mean, throughout his whole career, he's never presented himself to be this combative rapper who's ready to do this. But at the same time, for years, he's always said how he's the top dog, he's the best lyricist, he's, the best rapper out right now. And I mean, it was a nice little jab that he sent out with 7 minute drill, but then for you to go to your festival a couple days, not even like 2 months or something, like 2 days after you put the
Bruh.
song out, and you're recanting and basically, I don't want to say begging for forgiveness, but you basically said, "I'll put my chin out. You can take your best shot." Like I've never seen that in my life.
That is so
So
crazy.
that's where I was like, sure. I was having this talk in my other chat about, does this knock him down a notch as far as like one of the greatest rappers? Like I don't think so. I think he's still one of the greatest rappers, but respect level, I think it knocks him down a level as far as, rap is a sport. I mean, everybody's gone through it. Jay-Z, Nas, they've sparred. Drake has sparred plenty of times over the years. So it's like you take your wins, you take your losses like a man. I mean, Drake lost to Pusha T. I mean, he put all his business out there. I mean, I'm sure Drake would have a different opinion on it, but there's
I
no
don't think he
denying.
does.
I
I think
mean,
Drake is publicly acknowledged that he lost that battle rap, and I think he doesn't care because who we talk about now, Pusha T or Drake? We don't talk about Pusha T. I don't talk about him. Talk about Drake. Drake's the biggest artist, one of the biggest artists in the world, bigger than Super
Hey,
Bowl. That's what he said, right?
I don't agree all the time with academics, but he said something that was true in that regard. He was like, that rap battle, that rap beef between those two did more for Pusha T than it did for Drake. Because if you're talking about the king, how they view him, the top of the game is acknowledging you, it does more
Yes.
for that. That's like LeBron talking about, yo, I saw Antonio playing over at JCC. That does more for me than it does for Bron. That's that was one. I don't always agree with Act, but that part I was like, yeah, that
He was right. He's right about that, 100%.
yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it's 100%. And I think Pusha T dropped an album like right around that time. He capitalized off of the moment. I think he did,
It
or
was a good album.
not too long after. Yeah, which again, I don't know how much people listen to the album because again, like I said, he tried to capitalize on the momentum of the moment, which is smart, good business decision. But I'll say
smart
this about
business.
yeah, well, I'll say this about J. Cole. J. Cole, it's like you're watching two wrestlers or whatever, and one dude just stops wrestling and says, "Hey, I'm taking a bet shot on the chin. I don't want to fight you no more. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover." In the middle of the ring, bro. That's what you just did. That's what you just did. He got in the fetal position. No Diddy. That's what he did. That's what he did. So that's a tough one to come back from. And rap is a combat sport, like Miles is saying. So in a violent game like this, to do that, you're not gonna get a whole lot of respect out here, but that's okay. I think Cole is okay with being who he is, living his truth, and he's still one of the greatest rappers of all time. I'll still listen to his music. It doesn't change the way I feel about him, but I do not like the move. And I said this in the group chat. I do not like the move. I respect it, but I do not like it. Because I just would have, at that point you're in it, just, but
Exactly.
He
If it
compares.
went to the point of what we saw with Tupac Biggie, all right, cool. I
right.
get it. Like, all right, because y'all doing too much because fans are maniacal and like, oh, I ride for J. Cole, I ride for K. Dot, and it's a East Coast, West Coast type thing again. But it didn't go that far.
No.
I don't view K. Dot having that type of energy where it's talking about I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna kill you, and all. I don't think that would have happened. Outside of that, I think it should have kept going. It'd have been absolutely, as Greg said, that would have been the best ever in history rap beef ever.
Yeah.
And we probably would have
Had a
got
chance.
you would have got some of the best bars, but we still might get that with Drizzy and K Dot because like Miles said, Kendrick really wants Drake. That's the head he wants. This is
Because Drake's the
he's
head.
been
Because Drake's the head of the snake. He's the head.
he's been going at Drake. This is not the first time. He's been like in a prize fight. He's been throwing little jabs, first round jab. I'm seeing where you at with it. First round, second round, third round. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In and off the show. You mentioned Nicola. Go ahead.
Before you do that, I'm gonna just say this: with Drake's diss in his return shot to Kendrick, he's gonna be addressing everybody who's unfollowing him. All these rappers, you gotta understand. See, Kendrick's not gonna win this battle. I'm telling everybody now, Kendrick won't win because it looks it's gonna come off like you guys had all team up together like on some Avengers type stuff to get rid of Thanos, bro. Because all you guys aren't following at the same time. Rick Ross is over here listening to the song. Rick Ross is listening to the like that in the car. Nav isn't following him. They're all saying subliminals. I heard Travis got smoke with him, whatever. When you have a bunch of guys on your side teaming up with you and you try to jump this guy, which is what it's like you trying to jump Drake in the parking lot or whatever. You know what I mean? Because he's just on top. You guys got tired of him being on top. It's hard to win that battle. It's going to be hard because we're always looking. That's going to be a chink in the armor. I promise you. Just save this as a receipt because when this is talked about after it's all said and done, when the dust settles, we're going to bring up the fact that Kendrick Lamar seems to have had an alliance formed to take down Drake, which says more about Drake's greatness than it does about Kendrick's greatness. And that's all I'm saying. Leave it there.
I mean, you're saying Kendrick has the alliance formed?
It seems like it. Everybody at the same. This is him.
I think
and then all of a sudden everybody.
I think they know that him and Drake don't get along. I know Metro and Drake don't get along, and something down the line, along these lines, Future and Drake fell out. So I'm sure they were like, "All right, do you want to spit something?" Because what's the name of the album? We don't like you, or we
don't trust you, or whatever.
We don't trust you, and now we still don't trust you. So I feel like this is basically shots at Drake, and who better to throw more shots at Drake than someone who already doesn't really rock with Drake, like Kendrick Lamar. So I don't know. I think Kendrick saw an opportunity. He saw that this Metro album was coming out. They had been talking about it for a year or so, and I'm sure he hit up Metro or Future and was like, "Let me spit something. I got something." And it turned that song is holding strong and steady at number one. Still, 3 weeks later, even after Beyonce dropped an album, even after there's been a few other people who have dropped an album. So it's one of those where, Drake is seeing this and he's like, all right, I can't let this slide, because these were a lot more, because in the past it's been like real subliminal with their disses. Like nobody said names. He still didn't say names, but this one, you already know who he's talking about. Like first person shooter, you're talking about dogs. Like you already know who you're talking about. These are all key words for Drake in the last year. I'm looking forward to what we get out of Drake, out of Kendrick. Because sure, he's gotten pushed by other artists in the past, Drake, but nobody on a level like his. Like you can say Drake is on another level. Kendrick's at the top of the game too. Got like almost 20 Grammys. He's got a couple classics. He's solidified in the game. He's solidified on that list of rappers of all time. So let's see what Drake can do with one of the greatest artists of our generation.
Hey, Glorilla wanna be shooting up them charts too.
Or that Glorilla song? With that Yeah Glow? With that?
No, I want to be. It's something with Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. Okay.
I don't know what it is either. I don't know what it is either. But when I was looking on Instagram, TikTok today as the number one trending song to use, is "Wanna Be."
Whatever.
Wait, come on, real quick. That whole J. Cole thing, like he said on First Person Shooter, like how comparing himself to Ali. That's where I'm like, all this motion that he's been doing the last couple of weeks is crazy, because you comparing yourself to Ali, and what's he saying? I'm the greatest. That's what you're trying to say, and you're ducking smoke. It's like, imagine Ali getting in the ring with George Foreman, and after round one, he's like, you know what, George, I'm not really feeling it. I made a mistake. I'm gonna take the dive in round two. Like that would be some corny stuff, and Ali would probably never be heard from again. But because J. Cole has his fans, he's solidified. Like if this was anybody else who ducked out, like we saw what happened with Drake and Meek Mill. Meek Mill's career hasn't been the same since that beef. And he could argue with that. He could argue with Wale. He could argue with Charlemagne about all this, but it's already solidified. Like your career took a dive when you stepped against Drake. And that's usually what happens. So,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I'm in the business of clips and all that stuff. And I'll say this right now, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Kendrick Lamar as an artist is great. He does not compare to Drake.
I didn't say that though.
I'm not telling you did. I'm not saying you did. I'm just giving my opinion on the matter
All right.
because this is where this ultimately always goes. This is where the battle rap stuff goes. It's gonna go to who's better, who's this, who's that. They're gonna start comparing. They're gonna start comparing albums and discographies and all that stuff, 1-to-1. Drake is a better artist than Kendrick Lamar. There's a reason why Drake is more popular, just period, worldwide. There's a reason why more people listen to his music. There's a reason why he's more universally recognized as an artist than Kendrick Lamar. All right. There's a reason. You can argue, you can say, oh, well, Kendrick Lamar's music is more substantive and he talks about things that are more important and he acts like his age, kind of the age thing's been a thing brought up with Drake online, whatever, hanging out with the streamers or whatever. Drake is smart hanging out with the streamers, bro. That's genius. Because who buys concert tickets? The people that the kids that these streamers are talking to every night. It ain't to the 30-year-olds. It ain't for the 40-year-olds. It ain't to the adults. It's to the kids. The kids are the ones that move culture. Kids decide what's cool. So why would you not be in with Aiden Ross or Kai Cenat or whoever or academics, whoever it is that streams out here? It makes sense. It's where things have gone. Drake is just a smart businessman, and on top of that, he makes great music. Okay, telling you right now, Drake's a better artist. I don't. It's not a debate I'm willing to have with you. If this gets posted and it gets nasty in the comments, I will not respond. But I'm just telling you right now, Drake is a better artist. All right, the music just is there's some symphony level songs he's dropped that we don't talk about, and we can get into that conversation a different day. I can do it all day, but we don't got to go there. It's fine. I made my point.
Hey, people like to say this, that Kendrick, he doesn't drop often, but when he drops, it's great quality. The thing that you get with Drake, he drops often and it's great quality. So you get both. Just think about that. Just
Right,
just think about that, man. What would you
right.
rather have? Sportswear. Would you rather have a receiver that get 100 yards a game? Would you rather have Mike Evans, consistency every single year, 1,000 yards, or you want somebody to show up every other year? But when they show up, they're there. Nah, you don't want that in any aspect in any walk of life. You always got to stay ready, so you got to get ready. We out. Peace.
Peace.